welcome and thank you for joining our Music for Global Change broadcast with founder and music ambassador Skyler Jett and presenter Tom Bryant and Ryan Shewchuk. And our special guest today is Noah Johnson.
Welcome to the show, Noah Johnson. You grew up to the sounds of Soul Kitchen in South Wales, Cardiff, a cultural melting pot. You were born to an African father and Welsh mother, and soul and all types of music are basically your thing. Your catchphrase, if you will, or your quote is, "Don't put me in a box under genre, put me on a record under music," which I really liked. As a quote that basically tells people from reading into your details that you don't hold sway with one particular type of music. You're into all kinds of different types of music. You've also done comedy, all kinds of stuff. So welcome to the show, Noah, and please tell us more.
Well, I want to say to you, thank you for inviting me to the show. You know, I'm deeply honored to be on your show, really. You know, fantastic. I can tell you've done your homework. I started with my father at 9 years of age in the cabaret circuit. In America, they call it vaudeville.
Okay.
And I just stumbled across something today very, I feel, profound. And that was what I realized. My father's black, my mother's white. So there I was privy to cultures, musical and obviously lifestyle. My father owned an antique shop and a secondhand shop. There I was privy to, I would say, the privileged and the underprivileged. And I learned how to guide myself, my way through the both cultures of that. I boxed and I was an altar boy. Boxing was self-defense. Being an altar boy gave me passage to souls, understanding that, you know, although from the boxing I am learning how to defend myself, I'm also appreciating people through the church. And what I realized, I was doing cabaret at night, and then in a day I was in school, a schoolboy in school. I went from superstar to a normal, regular kid. These things, I believe, were the foundation of my whole beginning as a human being, to understand balance and to understand all the dynamics that goes on in the world. So my ego was put to check. I couldn't be that guy going to school that was the same guy in the evening. And so I developed the humble side of life, if you know what I'm talking about. And then if I round that all, then so what happened was music then it just became music. It didn't become genres. It just became music for the people. And that's why I do love singing all music. So in cabaret, I was doing from rock, Nirvana, to Frank Sinatra, to Sam Cooke. That's my opening line to you guys. Food for the soul, right?
Yes, Tom, you got another question?
Well, I have also, part of what I read about you is that you were a world freestyle dance champion as well. So not only could you were into the music and the comedy, you were also a dance champion. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I literally went to a club. Look, we all know within us all there are gifts from the heavens that we have to find and nurture. I literally went to a club, went to get a drink, tripped up, won a dance competition.
Wait.
And then I thought, well, what happens if I practice? So I went away and I practiced, and I became world dance champion. I became the UK's doubles champion with a girl dancer, and went on a world tour for 7 years as a kid. And again, always music. You know, I'm dancing at this point to American import records and whatever's in the clubs at that time. So yeah, I would say it was the experience of a lifetime, because it was more rock and roll than it's ever been. Those days were insane, and I stayed on path, which is a good thing.
Fantastic.
Which one do you like the best? Dancing, singing?
That's like choosing your favorite child, right? I would have thought. You know?
Yeah.
None is my favorite, but they're all broad different. Well, Ryan's, he's got something to say there. What was that, Ryan?
I'm curious to hear the answer. The favorite child.
What, my favorite child?
I'm just kidding.
I've only got one child, so that's my favorite, obviously.
Perfect.
But my mum's got 4, and she tells us all we're her favorite in different rooms. So, which is my favorite? Well, music brought, the lessons of what music brings to the world and to me. In communication. Boxing, as I said, I love sport, and it gave me self-defense, and it helped me have confidence walking into different rooms, knowing that I could take care of myself. Mm-hmm. Dance, the girls for me came for the dance. Dance.
Yeah.
They've all got special flavors. I love look, I love life and I love people. I'm looking at 3 different individuals. I'm looking at Skyler, who's we just met recently, but I was blown away, and I think everyone is who meets him. His son Ryan is obviously very smart, and just from looking in, I can see he's got a lot going on. I can see that there. And we have a guru here who seems to be sitting around a halo. It's right around his head. Right. So music, dance, and comedy, guys. Yeah, come on. Comedy is the confidence booster, isn't it? Yeah. You can walk into any situation, any meeting, drop a joke, and then bring people together.
That's right.
The right joke, obviously.
That's right. That's
right. I mean, let's add in. You were recently cast in a movie as well, so you're an actor as well.
Bro, you make me sound like our man Flint. The guy,
yeah.
Just does everything. So the acting again, I got to tell you the story because it's pretty cool. Please. Quite funny. A friend of mine is a director. She wrote a script around me regarding the philosophy we talk about, the spirituality, etc. Gave me the part, gave me the script. I don't know, 5 months. I didn't look at it. Okay. I didn't take it seriously. I went on, did my thing, and then she calls me. Where are you? What? It's today. You're not supposed to be on set. I drive to London, get to the set. She said, I don't know one word of the script. I haven't looked at it. She says, Noah, I've told everybody you're like the new Marlon Brando. You can't do this. I'm like, what does it mean? I'm Marlon Brando. So I said, well, look, I'm going to do what Marlon Brando did. And I wrote all the lines on cards, and she's literally standing in the head. So if you watch it, I'm just reading over the guy's shoulder these lines. Forward,
the old Godfather
reviewed in Ealing in a movie review. The guy, there's only 2 people in this film, me and the guy from Game of Thrones, who's an actor. The guy who's reviewing says to her, I'm not sure about that one guy. He's acting. She said, Noah? He said, no, the other guy. Noah's he studied method acting, I can tell.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Once again, you tripped into success.
Just say it again, brother.
You just tripped.
I know.
Like the dancing. You just tripped.
Yeah.
And boom.
Listen, when you have God in the camp,
you're
kind of in a good place.
Yeah, you protected and guided.
Absolutely.
So you're a social conscious music artist as well.
Yes.
Tell us the thrill you get from writing a song and it touches somebody and changes their life.
So I was just talking to a young lady. I was in the car just now, rushing here to get home, and she was listening to my new album just coming out in August, and she said, "So when you write a song, how do you feel and how do you get?" The same kind of question. So I'm ready for you. Yeah. And I said, what I do is, if somebody else has written the music or I write something on the guitar, I literally sit and wait. It's like waiting for the surf. And then when it comes, I just ride it till the end of the song. Yeah. And then you kind of unscathed. You haven't fallen off the board. You've landed literally on the shore to the cameras. Yeah, I did it. And that's what it's like for me when I write songs. I literally let go. And then the inspiration pops in. The first line appears. And then it kind of writes itself. And it's just, I think what happens for me is, and I do love songwriting, but I do love being in the studio and producing, and I do love mixing, and I do love performing. So it's all phenomenal. But the thing about songwriting is that the difference is it comes from nowhere. It's like that thing of an empty, you guys probably, I know Skyler writes. It's that thing of, Skyler, I'm talking about. When you sit there with a blank piece of paper or no idea what you're going to do, and then you get this blessing. And then certain songs reach higher planes for you. They reach different things inside you. And of course, we're inspired 24/7 by the world and meeting people. I wrote one song recently because I upset my lady, my partner. She cried. And no man wants to really do that. And I went to the studio, and my friend had to pick up his children. He said, do you want to come with me? I said, no, I'll write the song. I didn't know what I was going to write. And I wrote the song about the situation. And I went back to my lady, played it to her the same day, and she cried again, but obviously in the way you want a woman to receive you. Yeah. So very, very special thing writing songs. It's freedom.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Tom, you got another question?
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at, as we've mentioned there, I suppose, a little bit, but just looking into everything that you've done there, what's next for you? Have you got anything in the pipeline at the moment as far as songs go? Or is it just...
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I tell you what happened. I have a little girl, and I didn't want to leave her. So I stuck around. I think the longest I've been apart from her now is 8 weeks in a whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt that where the world is and how it goes, if she can have me around for as long as possible, it's going to give her tools for moving forward. She's now 16, that little girl, become a woman. And I've finished 8 albums while I was looking out for her. So in between, I'd snatch moments and do my thing. I'm sitting now on all these records. I'm sitting on my autobiography, which I wrote for her as a legacy. No matter what happens, she gets to read about her dad. That's done. I did that little movie, which is quite funny. I don't know about that, if I'm going to do any more films. I don't know about that. So my plans, I have no plans other than now all I'm going to do is release what I have for completed. And I'll let the world decide what I do next. That's how I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
Is that, speaking about letting the world decide what you're going to do next, I listened to your song, Tiger Bay, earlier. Very powerful. Obviously, you know, talking about George Floyd, Black Lives Matters in 2020. I mean, what drove you to, you know, say, listen, I need to write this song. I need to get this out in the world?
You know, I hear people say all the time, great question. Now I understand why they say that, because that's a great question. Because I was born in a place in Wales. I started in a place called Tiger Bay, which is on a dock, and it has all kinds of cultures, all. And then I went to school, and I received people name calling, etc., treating me in a different way that others were treated. But I will say, in their defense, as all people, I find people in general will pick on anybody who's different. So it's not just about color.
Yeah.
Now we know, and this is, you know, it's a heavy subject, but I'm just going to finish what I'm trying to say. So I'm born into a white mother, black father. So I know the best of both worlds, and I've seen it. But experiences that I got along the way, it wasn't because I was a bigger kid than everybody else. I was a thinner kid than everyone else. So I wasn't as quick. It was the color of my skin. And this has been going on for forever. And when the message of that thing, Black Lives Matter, yes, we know all lives matter. I'm just hysterical when I hear that. But there's a time in the queue when different people get addressed. And I felt that when I saw that, it was a bit like when Diana died. I don't know why I felt something. I never met the woman. I don't understand why I felt something.
Right.
And when he was hurt in that way, it was like, wow, I feel he represents all the name calling I ever had in my life. We just unleashed the dragon. So I just, you know, I took what I knew and I sang about it. And it's a massive subject, and it's ongoing, as we all know.
Of course, right.
Music for global change. We all know that what you're trying to achieve, and I'm with you all the way, because it's conscious, and anything conscious that draws me in. And again, I have to address what you guys are doing, and I'm really honored. That's why I'm honored to be on the show, because how many shows don't address anything other than, you know, the car, the girls, the this, the that. But you guys, it's what we need. We need more of you.
Positivity. Yeah.
We're addressing social issues, but at the same time, what's coming from us is the positivity, because people are tired of bad news. Let's give them some good news, right? Give bad news some competition, and life ain't all bad. You know, there's a lot of people doing beautiful. A lot of people doing beautiful things for each other, man. They don't get the recognition that they deserve for helping people. And
I have to jump in there, because I was just saying this also, because I think because my mom's white, and I have a lot of cousins and nephews who are white. And I feel white people also get a bad end of the stick. It's not just black people get it, white people get it. I'm talking about the good ones, the good guys, the good girls, the good binaries, you know. they, I watch these marches and I see a lot of white people. You know, I read the history books on white people who were in a position of privilege, kind of turned their back on their privilege and stood up for the terrible things that go on. So I like what you're saying. Yeah, there's negative and there's positive everywhere we go, and that whole. I think it's a great thing to stand up for everybody who's on the same page, and everybody who's, if they're positive, I'm in. I'm with you.
Well, I'm mixed too, and so is Ryan.
Right.
And
so you know,
racism is the most stupidest thing mankind has ever invented. But at the same time, if we keep penetrating and inspiring people that just want to get along, right?
I agree. I think what's going on in the world today is quite exciting. I know sometimes it gets blown up out of proportion or goes to the wrong area, but if you look at the youth, you know, you can't say that, you can't say this, you can't say that, and then so wow, you can't say anything anymore. Yeah, you can, as long as it stays positive. And I love that message. And I love that message because it's time people were accountable for just, you know, being negative, saying certain things. It is being addressed. And I think you're right. The more you guys keep pushing the positive, I think it assists the people who are in negative positions.
4.2 million mixed race kids, marriages, 4.2. And then, I'm just talking about the United States, 4.2 million. But there's over 8 million interracial couples in the United States, right?
Yeah.
To show you how crazy racism is, one of the 8 million look like you and I and Obama.
Yeah.
All out of all those people, one of them was a mixed race.
Yeah.
And he was the president, not once, but twice.
Bob Marley. I mean, Malcolm X. I mean, it goes on. And it's been going on and it will continue to go on. And the more it goes on, it's got to be a great thing.
Yeah. Well, now, though, we need to write songs about taking the level down of racism, celebrating people with mixed colors. That you're never going to stop people with mixed colors from mixing.
I've written 2 tracks already on that. And so I'm with you.
Yeah, love is love.
It's part of the path, isn't it?
Yeah.
We write about what's going on. So that is what's going on. So
tell us more about your album that's going to be released.
So the album, okay, so this is this is actually definitely an exclusive. So I'm going to give it to you.
Nice.
Because it's before I even wanted to drop what I'm talking about. It's quite exciting.
Mm-hmm.
What I've done, I've made an album is dedicated to my father. It's called Frank Johnson's Greatest Hits. My father passed away 7 years ago. Conscious black man. He was in Tiger Bay with the Sons of Africa. He did the festivals and he loved everybody. Of course, my mum is white, so loved everybody.
There you go.
Dedicated the album to my father. And what it is all these songs I've been writing and songs he loved during the time he was alive, and I've mixed them all together. So it's like a greatest hits album before I've even had the greatest hits. So kind of back to front. And I've always done it all back to front. So we're cool with that.
Yeah.
I've got 18 to 19 tracks on the album.
Oh, wow.
And they go through most genres, from rock to soul to hip hop. And it's one of the first because it's really difficult to achieve this. Because people in the past have wanted they want the same trick over and over, and they're happy to do that. And I'm not doing that. I'm doing something that I think is very important, and I'm staying free, and I'm not letting anyone call my shots. Whether the records do well, it's irrelevant. And I mean this under my heart. I've got to that point now where it's just about the music. I'm putting the records out how I feel them, and I'm going to drop this album in August. And then I will drop albums with one sound on them, because there are 8 of those. And then I want to tour next year.
Yeah, you want to perform.
Yeah, I want to go perform
and promote
and do what I do. And I want to be able to pick out of the air whatever track or genre I want to choose. My dream is to kick ass, have a lot of people in one room. Now, look, I've done 93,000 in Spain, so I know what a big crowd is.
Wow.
I headlined, and I know what it's like. I want to do a big crowd, and I want to have 4 stages. And if you were looking down, it would be like a crucifix with the 4 stages. You get my vibe?
Wow.
And on each stage will be a different band.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go across and just do whatever songs I feel with these different bands. And in the corners of the cross will be the genres of different people. You can come if you're really into rock, then you want to be near the rock stage. If you want the soul, you can be in the. If you want dance, and that's my dream. That's a long way off, but that's my dream.
Mine too, man. And I've done all these duets with people around the world. When I put Music for Global Change festivals together, it'd be one band. The band's going to play behind. They'll come up and do 3 songs, and then I'll do the duet that I wrote with them. The next acts will come on, and so on and so on. Tom, you got another question?
Yeah, well, obviously we've mentioned about how you're very diverse in the kind of music that you like and that you produce. It also mentions in some of the details that I read there that you also have a folk album, which you did, which you call Hard Mouth to Feed Afrofolk. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Afrofolk, yeah.
They're kind of
hysterical, right? Well, there is the good news. So the Afrofolk album came out. It was my first big sign-in to Sony Records. So that record is sitting on a shelf, and we're just negotiating to release it now properly.
Right.
When it came out, they said the reviews were insane. I remember the MD of Sony, his name was Mick Clark at the time, higher ground actually within Sony, and he said, no, it's going to take about 3-4 albums because it's so people want, smoke and mirrors, they want lights, they want this. This is a folk album. It's going to take you 3 to 4 albums to blow this up, but just keep doing what you're doing and it will work. At the time, I was with a girl. We were a duet. And the record was called Johnson, by the way, Hard Mouth to Feed. And this girl's name was Rain. And what happened was, she said to me, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to rock out. And I thought to myself, well, I had my shot at this record. You deserve yours. Because if something goes down now and we split, you'll never know what it's like to do your dream. And I think that's the main thing, achieve your dream. So then we embarked on a rock project. And then we became Ellis, and then we started rocking out, and we were going to sign to Interscope, and then I switched. This time I switched to a child. This time I switched to, it was a whole different thing. But going back to the folk album, I loved folk music, and I do love folk. My 2 favorite artists on the planet, Bob Dylan, Marvin Gaye.
Wow. Again, social conscience.
Exactly, yin and yang, down the middle, love them both. Bob for the folk and the lyric, and Marvin for the soul
and both social conscious writers.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of that. But 100%, both very conscious.
Man. Bob Dylan and
inspired by the folk of him, and then I went over to and listened to a bit of Bruce, listened to America, listened to Guthrie. I just went in. The great thing is, all these subjects I talked to you about, I rocked out for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I played with Slayer, Lenny Kravitz, Puddle of Mud, Look Mum No Head, rock records, rock bands, and Slipknot. I was reviewed as the Vin Diesel of rock by Kerrang magazine, 4Ks. Can't get better, right?
Wow. Vin Diesel's a rock. I like it.
So everything I've done musically on my whole path has been rewarded by my peers, including my boy Sky, and I'm very proud. I'm very glad to meet you, dudes. I'm very proud of him, and I'm very glad to meet you guys. I mean, it's just it's a lovely energy from you both.
Thank you.
Kind of, you know the deal. Is there 5 points to a star?
Yes, 5 points.
There's 4 of you and me, which is not bad. We're all equal.
Hey, we're getting there. We need another point of view, and we're gonna get that right now. Right, exactly. Ryan, you got another question for me?
I didn't necessarily have a question, but I did you were naming off people that you've worked with, but I wanted to bring out one group in general that you did a song with, the Killer Bees, which I'm a huge fan of. Immortal.
Oh, Immortal, yeah.
I mean, I'll show off my Wu-Tang Crocs.
Oh, I love those.
Who's got Wu-Tang Crocs? I mean, I'm for real, Noah. Okay,
bro,
so
you are so for real, and that's Power. I think Power developed all that. You remember Power from the series? I think he's behind a lot of this. Yes. He's my boy. It's my boy, Power.
That's a great
Wu-Tang,
song.
great.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm rocking out. I get a phone call from a friend. He says, I got a treat for you when you come to New York. Go on. I'm taking you to 36 Chambers studio.
Yes.
It's gone now, but yeah, exactly. I go in there. Choco, it was Jose Choco Reneso. He's their engineer. And I say hello. And Shaheem just got out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
And Prodigal Sons of Man was there. Don't get me wrong, RZA, we've had we've hung out. Man, Priest. It goes on, but those two characters were in the studio that time because they were celebrating that he just got out of prison.
Okay.
And they said, "Let's get on your record, man." That's a bit bad of an accent. I'm sorry, but it was something like that. Yo, son, yo, God, they go.
Yeah.
Get on the record, son.
Like,
okay, get on the record. They killed it. So they're on the album. The record you've heard probably is Immortal.
Yeah.
But I've got the original version, which is on the new album.
Okay.
Produced by Choco and myself. Him first, me just learning and getting my tag on the end of that. He did most of the record. Yeah. I'm always honest. Oh, and always, mostly at the time, I'm honest. What a song. And again, conscious record.
Yeah.
Super conscious, as you know. And I'm glad you said that because I've just done a version with 20 street rappers on it.
Okay.
So I took the backing track, pumped it up with a guy called Ice, who was a great up-and-coming producer. And we made this really tremendous record. That's going to come really soon. I'm putting out my album, and then at the same time, I'm dropping this EP. So it'll have The Immortal on it. It's called The Immortals.
The Immortals, okay.
Him on it. My brother did the artwork, I got to tell you guys, and the world who are listening, Tojo, my brother, hands down, one of the best artists on the planet, animator on the planet.
Animation.
He's insane.
Does he does music animation?
He does whatever animation. He's just an animator. So he's got 3 movies written now, finished. And he did something for Fuji Sankei, that for only time something got on TV, which he got an hour-long special. And then he's gone straight underground like me with his kids, and we both pop up. He calls us Irish twins. Have you heard that saying before?
Yeah.
Yeah, he calls
back
Irish twins.
Back.
Because everything we do is in sync. And everything when we come to fruition, it's always at the same time. So I'm putting his art with my music, and I intend to do a launch in August, which you will totally be invited, you guys.
Yeah,
and what it is it's going to be an art gallery. We've got Stormzy's sister DJing. I'm going to do about 4 tracks, and then we're going to celebrate his art as well, and it'll be all over the walls. So that's my
come back when August. Come back when you release.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
This is my new tent. I'm pitching up.
well, listen, brother, I want to thank you so much for the privilege of your time.
No, it's a joy.
Today.
It's a total joy. And, thank you guys for inviting me.
I do this with every guest we have on. We'd like to ask for your endorsement.
Of course.
To teach young people about positive music and positive people. Power to the peaceful. You know what I mean? So yeah. So
music for global change, I feel is the future, and the message totally tallies with my spiritual beliefs, my conscious beliefs, and anything I can do for you guys and anyone I meet, including Wu-Tang, anyone who comes to town, I'll hook you up. I want to interview them, and I want to promote what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely think about us when you come to some artists that are really powerful, and 100%. they feel that social conscious music is great 100%. For our society. You know what I mean? So we love that, and push our site out to people, and
100%. It's done, man.
Have them check out our other interviews, because very, very powerful people, man, trying to help.
I'm going to go back now and watch all your interviews.
Oh, brother, I appreciate you. Love
guys,
you, brother.
God bless.
Cool. Namaste, my brother. Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Namaste, total pleasure, guys. God bless. And anyone listening, really thank you for the support as well.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.